We have a quorum, so let's begin our workshop.
Yes.
It is 5:28 on the 19th of November. So any thoughts or comments from last night's? What did you pick up from last night's meeting with the select board?
Didn't go exactly the way I thought it was going to go, but
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have like sort of a informal sit-down workshop.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were going to have. You know, we'd all be sitting on the same table and having a workshop. I didn't know.
Yeah, I was surprised with the setup, that there wasn't a setup.
Right. I didn't know, it turned into sort of a grill session, and I
It
was
did,
kind of
yeah.
shocked by that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we were talking about items that we had just at the last meeting got information on and really didn't have time to discuss as a planning board. And then we were grilled about it at last night's meeting, and didn't leave me with a good feeling when it was all over.
I didn't think we were prepared. Well, I mean, Bob was prepared in one direction, okay? But I guess what I was thinking is that what was your reason for us being there?
Well, you had a series of questions that you
Yeah.
that you wanted to
Okay.
get some ideas on. Okay, and we know that with the gravel roads and the likes, Dave, you were looking for some notions and ideas around something, at least to capture some thinking about where we might go with that.
Didn't really have the opportunity, I didn't think, to get into what the thoughts might be. And actually, us as a board didn't even discuss that anyway, so that would have just been my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get into that, because nothing we had agreed upon or anything, you know?
The teacher's gonna come out of me right now,
You know,
okay? But particularly about that road ordinance. We can't be talking about the grade and the level and the side and the 4 feet, 2 feet, 6 inches, without a diagram, without something for them to see, whether it's in a packet form or we have it enlarged and on a board like this and we're pointing at it. I think if we're just trying to talk about, you know, what the crown looks like or the bituminous underlayment or whatever it is, the way it goes, I don't know. But we need to have that so they can see it.
right. And to go along with that, it wasn't advertised to the public. It was just ordinances on the agendas. It was just discuss ordinances, what ordinances, you know? There was no,
Interesting.
so what's the public supposed to know that we're discussing? You know, ordinances in general.
Who's
and that's-
responsible for putting that out, Christine?
The town manager does the select board's agenda. What was decided last night?
Zip?
Nothing was decided?
Nothing.
No.
We
Did
weren't
you
looking,
present to
we
them?
weren't looking for decisions, quite honestly. We were just looking for some input
Yeah, we were looking.
based on their
input from,
experiences. And-
Yeah, from the select board, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that's what, I
Yeah.
thought we were looking for input from the select board on what they were looking for from us as far as developing these ordinances. That's what I thought we went to the meeting for, and that's not what it turned out to be at all.
I mean, I was trying to explain about the marijuana ordinance, and they wanted to know why are we looking at the ordinance? And my explanation was the CEO has come up against a situation where the ordinance, she doesn't have backing with the ordinance. It's not sufficient to do what she needs it to do. Therefore, we need to look at that and rewrite it so that it backs her up. Plus, the town manager said that it wasn't legally enforceable, the way it's written. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so they understood why we had to look at that.
But we didn't.
What?
We didn't understand it. We had no information on it. We didn't know why,
We've been discussing it at all of the workshops.
but we didn't have an explanation of why our ordinance does not meet the requirements of the state.
I think we've talked about it every workshop.
I don't remember.
I think there was initial ones, I think maybe back in August. I don't know if you were
Yeah, I
there.
wasn't here.
I think you may have missed that,
Yeah,
but, I think we did talk about that though, Christina, about making sure we're referencing the right statutes, making sure our definitions match and align with what the state wants. And then I guess to pivot a little bit, but I believe the discussion last time was hopefully geared towards more engaging interest from the select board or the community at large if the town wanted to opt in first. Because currently, even though we're opted out and we have an ordinance that says we're opted out, that ordinance is not legal. So if we want to stay opted
Okay,
out,
can we stop right there?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
We opted out. And now
Correct.
you're saying to me, that's not legal.
No.
An earlier
it
law.
is.
It's what?
An earlier law, maybe 8 or 10 years ago, which is
Right.
not
Okay.
updated.
Yeah,
So-
so we as a town, we are
We need to.
opted out, and the state requires towns to have an ordinance if you're opted out, that says that and this type of standards that you have. So we're opted out, that's not in question, it's more the ordinance that Christina can enforce for those opted out, all the different stuff that's in there, and Christina,
Well, all
you know
it's
what's all
saying
there,
is that,
but
but it's just referencing to growing it, manufacturing, or making it the what, and then retail. There's 3 parts to it. And it just says it. It doesn't, as Bob was explaining, it's not referencing the state statutes that we have now. Is that why it's not legal?
Part of
yeah,
it, that is part of it. I can get it in writing from the state as to why they're telling me that it's not enforceable. If you want, for the next
Okay,
meeting.
but Christina, that's the information we need to
Yeah,
have if
that's
we're
the
going to
awful
go
part.
to the, if we're gonna go to the select board.
Yeah.
We needed, I didn't have any,
What they told me over the phone was that the language that's written into that is not recognized by the state. The state statute referenced in that ordinance is no longer, it was
No longer
repealed in
exists.
2017.
Yeah, I agree.
And if I ever tried to go and enforce that somehow, it has no teeth.
okay, but if there's a written document somewhere,
Well, there's not, and I'm struggling with getting someone to even answer the phone at the cannabis office, so.
well, and they were talking about the person and I didn't, the town manager said there's somebody that goes around to the different towns that
Right,
talks.
that's Vern.
yeah, he can't, we would have to request that. I don't know if you've been able to get a hold of
Vern
But
him.
is that
always
this,
wants me.
but is that the same one that you've been trying to get to help us
I've
with
tried to
this?
get him, but there's another man who handles just the Sebago area, and he's the one that I initially spoke with.
Didn't the select board was gonna try to get him to come on the
Yeah, but-
December 16th meeting, right?
but no,
But
but-
it's a tentative thing.
But the town manager didn't know his name.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully we can figure it out between now and
Christina
then.
had somebody that you talked with us about, and then you said,
Yeah, I can't get in touch with him again.
Who's his
I've been
superior?
trying. What's his, I'm sorry?
who's his superior?
I don't know.
Go up the ladder.
You want me to go up the ladder?
Seriously.
I don't think
I
we
mean,
can do
play
anything
hardball.
about that ordinance until we get that information. What are we gonna do?
But what I'm saying, Bob, is, Dave, what we have to do in order to go before the select board and not be embarrassed, I was embarrassed,
Yeah.
is to have the information, like the pamphlet about the roads from the EPA. We need to have that in our hands to say, these are the things that we're working off from, whether we use it or not.
Yeah.
But it's something that it's material it's research material.
Okay. I'll continue to try to get that in writing for you guys, and I'll continue to try to get in touch with Vern.
I mean, I was online and I've gotta go back and look at all those numbers in there. The reference numbers because what I got for marijuana, cannabis laws, it's telling me nothing. I mean, how do I put in, I wanna start a cannabis farm. And I'm getting nothing, I can't find the page. Well, I guess I have to go into agriculture. I thought of that too late, but I didn't have time to go back to it. You know what, we're all over the place trying to get information, and we shouldn't have to be.
Brett, what's the office called that handles the cannabis? The official thing?
It's OCP, it's the Office of Cannabis Policy. Yeah, usually, it takes a little bit of advanced scheduling. I think it took a couple months to get Vern to come out there. But I think that was partially because he may not cover the specific area. He might be, I don't know if they break it out similar to DEP, where it's like southern Maine, central Maine, like that kind of thing. But I have his email too, so I can also.
Well, Vern should be informed that he has the courtesy to let us know he doesn't cover the area and who does.
Yeah, well, the reason why I brought up his name was a couple months ago now, he came to the town of Raymond for a planning board meeting, because they have a very similar thing going on where their marijuana ordinance standards aren't up to snuff. And, you know, there's been some updates to the state's statute as well as of late. So wanting to, one, make sure that we were in line and what we were proposing to do was legal, but also two, learning more what additional restrictions that towns under home rule authority can also put on there. So it was a really helpful discussion, and so I guess, yeah, I think if we can keep trying to get him to come, I think that would help.
Helpful.
Well, who's the other guy besides Vern? I don't like Vern already.
But I think in the short term though, I think it would be a lot easier to get it in writing in terms of what specific sections maybe are not legal. You know, that way we know which specific line items, if it's maybe 2 or 3 sentences versus needing to rewrite the whole entire thing. Just, I guess, knowing that scale of that work that's it's gonna take to.
If you look at the ordinance, it only says those 3 things. We've opted out, and that means the farming and the refining and the selling,
Yeah.
okay? I mean, that's
So
the
you gotta
ordinance.
make reference to the proper state statutes.
Proper statutes, yeah.
Well, we can't just reference the state statute because they want the towns to adopt their own language. So we can copy and paste, though, the same exact language. We can't just say, refer to this external document, because then that puts the liability on the
Okay.
state.
Yeah, that's-
And they don't like that.
Yeah. Are there some towns that you know that
Go ahead.
are there some towns that have ordinances
Yeah.
that have opted out that you know of? That we
Yeah,
could look at their ordinance?
Yeah, Raymond's another great example. Like I said, we're doing that now through them, with them, and
Is that in draft form, or do they have a?
I have it in draft form, because I
You
get
have
to
the
do
draft
it.
form, okay.
So I'd be happy to share that, obviously, for next month, if we're having another workshop as well.
Okay.
Just to talk that over. It's a little bit more, I will say, strict than just what the baseline state standards allow, though. They, in particular, there's a couple challenging situations with property owners, especially regarding smell and odor, where it's impacting some of the neighborhoods there. So they're a little bit more interested in some stricter standards. So if the board is interested, I could share that information with that stricter standards, or if you would like, I could extract that and just kind of have that baseline information.
Yeah, we probably should look at a long-term ordinance. I mean, this
Yeah.
town's not gonna stay lit like it is forever, so. yeah.
Sure. So, like I said, once I have that prepared for next month, I'll obviously share that with you.
It might have helped too to have gone to them with sort of just a bulletin sort of thing that explained the 3-tier thing and just the general question, and explained the current situation that we've opted out, but that is no longer covered by current law, and we need to decide what version of the upcoming law, and just ask them for general direction whether they want it to continue to opt out, some sort of status, or to adopt the more open state status. So
Okay.
we didn't quite put them to them the way we might have.
Yeah. They did have the marijuana ordinance in front of them that we have, and they also had our current streets ordinance.
The current one, yeah,
current
not the
one.
one that.
Not that one.
That you came up with. They
Yeah.
didn't have a copy of that last night, so
Yeah.
that was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
They had,
But they shouldn't-
they had no idea what we were even talking about.
Did they have that information before the meeting? Or did they get it?
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
didn't catch the first part of what you said.
They didn't have, the ordinance that you and Trent worked on, the street ordinance, for backlot driveways and
Oh,
private.
like the memo from like last month?
Yeah, the select board did not have that last night.
Okay.
They had no idea.
I didn't know you guys were gonna be on the agenda,
I didn't-
and I don't set their agenda, so
Yeah,
if
okay.
had I known prior to
No,
the.
no, we're not trying to
I know.
blame you, Christina, it's on.
The last thing I heard was that the manager was going to push the workshop, the joint workshop off until December, so I didn't know.
And again, we thought it was gonna be more of an informal workshop where we had a discussion and not kind of a grilling on where are you at this point and all that sort of stuff, because, yeah, that was
So
a
you,
good-
you think that you want for the next workshop with them, for them to have that, a copy of that?
Well, yeah,
We gotta talk about this, because I'm not gonna sit before that select board again, like we
No,
were,
no.
What did
like,
they
no
say,
way.
did they give
Yeah.
any direction going forward?
I think the next workshop that we have with the select board, we should host.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
If they wanna sit out in the audience, they can.
I do have a question in terms of timing, because I think maybe this may help as well. Do those joint sessions happen before the meeting? Obviously, it sounds like there's
Yes.
one last
Before.
night. So I think the challenge with that, if there's another one next month, is there'd be information shared with you folks, like a draft marijuana ordinance or gravel street or all those different standards, without even the board having a chance to discuss those. So I think it's a little tricky in terms of the timing piece of it. It's not impossible, but I think, maybe it also is an opportunity to be better prepared for the actual workshop piece of it here, after that discussion with the select board of, hey, this is what we're gonna talk about tomorrow night. Do we like this? No, cross it out, Brett can remove that. Hey, do we like this? Do we need to beef that up? Circle it, Brett can beef that up, kind of thing.
And a copy of the current state standard and a copy of our current ordinance, and 3 to 4 basic questions. You favor adopting the more liberal town, state ordinance? What other provisions would you like to have? As regards to the 3-tiered thing, what do you think? Just basic 3 or 4 questions to get a straight answer from, not to have them all over the place and not get caught up in minutiae of the whole thing, but just some straightforward, where would you guys like to go with this questions? Okay.
And I think they should have
That's
more
what I
than
thought
a
we were
night or
gonna get
two.
last night, Paul.
What?
That's what I thought we were gonna get last night.
Well, you gotta put it right in like a little bulletin, like you have here, the
Yeah.
3 questions, fill in the blank.
Yeah, truthfully,
Get their attention, and they need.
I'm brainstorming right now how this is gonna look, and I imagine it's almost gonna be like a little booklet that's gonna have everything in it together. It's gonna have a cover page with the memo with bullet points, with all the documentation, and like,
Yeah.
almost like a formal application, almost with Exhibit A, here's our current ordinance, Exhibit B, here's a draft ordinance, Exhibit C, just like, so all the documentation is in one nice place.
Yep.
Exactly.
Introduction, and then 3 or 4 bullet points, the 2 or 3 things, and then a conclusion.
I can't
And
wait.
ask them a couple questions, and then take to the back of the copies of the ordinances, and that
Yeah.
probably would be something they could look at and respond to.
The intent in my mind of last night's meeting was really to have a conversation with the select board,
When we did that.
just to seek their understanding. We did that, but, the direction was entirely different than what we had hoped. That's
We
for
should
sure.
focus them on what direction
Yeah.
they think we should take. Here's the options, which way do you think, what do you think? And
Well,
go back and work on that.
we didn't come up with that documentation, so it should have been on them anyway. I mean, I don't know where that came from, whether it came from the town planner's office or what, the idea about the road ordinance that you two were working on. I don't know where that,
Yeah, well, I think it stems from a couple different ways, and I guess to zoom out a little bit. Like currently, obviously, we have a standard for roads, but one of the challenges with that is it's not scalable upon the size of development. So let's say if there's a property that's surrounded by land trust land, and they want to do a small little backlot, right?
Yep.
In the past, the board has maybe granted a waiver for maybe allowing a lesser right-of-way or smaller impact for that smaller development because if it's surrounded by land trust land, it's never going to turn into a larger scale development, right? What our ordinance doesn't have, though, is that framework for the board to grant that waiver. So if it were ever appealed, there's no grounds for that board. to make that decision.
But in a presentation to the select board, you have to, that all has to be written down, like Paul's saying, it's gotta, that's gotta be
Right.
because they have no
Yep.
idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think like in an introduction type thing, pointing out maybe where those challenges in our ordinance are, and like where those opportunities are to really strengthen that up. Because if we can add a waiver section, I think that would help obviously give the board some credibility in making their decisions and hold up in court too. But then also, if we are interested in tiering it based on scale of development as well, that's a pretty common thing. A lot of other towns do, I would say, is, it makes sense for larger scale developments, you're gonna have a larger road versus, if maybe it's a phased development, well, for the first portion, maybe it's a smaller sized road, understanding that when that second phase is gonna trigger it to that higher tier threshold of that unit count, then the developer would be responsible for updating that
Well,
road.
and that's why I'd be reluctant about changing the right of way from 60 to 50 feet, because
Yeah, and that's
just
we
what
can
you
keep it
said,
60,
because
but-
it's at a point where you reach 35 residential units or 35 acres, you gotta put another access in anyway, so.
Right.
It's,
And I think that's the key there is the consistency, right? Like we
Right.
don't want a 50-foot right-of-way for one and 60-foot for the other. It's more so making sure we're consistent for the right-of-way, but also too allowing for the board to consider a waiver for that right-of-way reduction in those cases for those smaller scale developments where it makes sense.
and your idea about both the road abutting conservation land is something where obviously you can't go any further out, and you're limited to this property right here. So that, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
With reducing the setback on that, and also the road width.
Right.
But again, it would depend on how many acres are being developed.
Yeah.
But, and how much is being serviced by the road, how many buildings.
Right.
In other words, 50-foot right-of-way probably give you fairly wide enough to service the far end of your road. I think what they have in mind is sort of a branching thing. The road in is, if there's a development, the road in is 60, but when you branch off to a couple side roads, they can be 50.
Right.
Rather than require the whole thing
Then
to
you
be
have the 2
60.
points of access onto the original road, and that's why the original road going in may want to be a 60-foot right of
Yeah.
way to allow for those branches to join into it in the future.
Yeah, but those branches don't necessarily have to be.
No, those don't
60.
necessarily have to be, especially if they're abutting land that can't be developed, ponds,
Yeah,
whatever.
sometimes it's just not feasible, right?
Right.
Sometimes there's natural resources there
Right.
that, like, it makes it virtually impossible, right? Like, to do all the wetland
I was
crossings
gonna
or
say the
vernal
wetlands
pools.
and stuff, yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, there's all those state protections around properties as well. Steep slopes is another really common one where,
Right. So
sometimes
really-
it makes sense. However, we have to base that decision off of something, and that's what we don't have.
Right.
So by providing that framework within the ordinance, again,
So there's gonna be a lot of mays in there, not shells, but mays in an ordinance that we write. You may, be able to reduce it to a 50-foot right of way, may be able to reduce it.
Look at everything as a unique piece of land and not as just a set of general principles.
Right.
So that when you look at the particular lot, you give yourself some flexibility to make decisions. And if you had, 50-foot right-of-way for a minor street, that would give you more flexibility for that. I don't know what the length or width of this room is, but 50 feet is enough for
yeah, I think
20,
like some of the
20-foot
sample
right-of-way and
I look
10-foot
at it like future
8-foot ditches on
development
either
taking
side.
place, and like you're talking about with the branch roads and the development down those roads, and at some point you may want sidewalks there in the future, it's like, if you limit yourself to a 50-foot right-of-way, you're not gonna increase that to a 60-foot right-of-way in the future. I mean, that's just not gonna happen.
Right, yeah, and I guess to back up what that language, if you talk about the may versus like shalls, I think a good example would be like the draft from Raymond. What it would read probably for us would be something like a reduction in the minimum right-of-way of 60 feet, or a reduction in the minimum right-of-way to 50 feet may be approved solely by the planning board. The applicant is responsible for providing evidence of hardship where a 60-foot right-of-way is not feasible.
Right.
Like something like that would be like a notation on those actual road design standards, and then also having provisions in there for that waiver language and what type of standards they have to meet, so.
And it has to be recognized that may does not mean shall.
Yeah, right. Okay, now I've got a question.
Well, we
Okay.
only have a couple of
I
minutes, so
know.
make that quick. If you-
Question, the planning board is supposed to be responsible for rewriting ordinances, correct?
Right.
We're leaning on him to write them.
Well,
That's not right. We need to learn
He's
how
our
to.
resource, professional resource.
He's a professional resource, but we need to get our act together.
We do.
And we've got some guys here that have been writing ordinances,
We do.
okay,
Our
so.
role in this is to
Well,
write our,
But the reason that I think that we haven't gone any further with this is we were looking, because the select board sparked interest in having input, and that's what we thought we were doing. So I think that's what we were kind of waiting for, and with that meeting that happened last night was to get their input. But did you get any input? Did you get any information on that?
No, that's why we take a stand, we do what we think we're supposed to do. We have an ordinance that we have to write for roads.
Yeah.
We write it according to the matrix that you have,
Yep.
with the information that we have. We stand on our own 2 feet and do something.
Right.
Then we can we hand it to Brett and say, okay, how far off are we? Okay, and you're over the hill, gang. Yeah, right. So,
So now we're
They've
gonna-
come
so
to
now-
us after reviewing our ordinances
Yeah.
and made suggestions. So that's
So now
fine with
that we
that.
realize that, that's
And
what
we need to discuss it.
Right. Now that we realize that, that's what we're gonna do.
But then going back to the meeting, a meeting like that, it can be a herding cat sort of a thing. The same way, bullet points, get them to answer a few basic questions, and then you can move forward. If it just turns into a general overall discussion, you're not accomplishing things.
No,
So,
no.
to somebody who spent 28 years in the bureaucracy, if you want to get through a meeting and get some things accomplished,
Let's go to the meeting.
basic questions, here's a couple. We want your answers we want, and then you can take that as a movement.
okay. All right, thanks, Bob. So,
If you just sit around talking, you end up with
Yeah.
last night's
Yeah.
results.
Yeah.
so are you all set with your next steps with Christina in terms of getting the information you need in the likes?
I mean, I think the first thing that needs to happen is I need to get a response from someone at the state. Someone needs to actually respond to me.
Okay.
If I can't get anybody,
okay, can somebody besides the code enforcement officer call? I'm on the planning board. I need information.
sure.
About which question you're asking, the marijuana one?
Yeah. I'm assigned with Christina for marijuana. Can I have the telephone number and I'll start on my end?
Yeah.
Great.
Not that I get ahead, but I'll harass somebody.
I think David hit the point, is like with any other business, it's going to locate in where the business center is. So I don't know where on 107 you might operate, but whatever.
What, for marijuana?
Well, there's 3 tiers, there's the retail, there's the
Oh, yeah.
growing, and there's the other, and they didn't quite get
I think the top
focused
of
on
Douglas
that,
Mountain
getting them to
should be
say, here's the
growing.
3 tiers, you need to decide where on this level. Are you gonna say no retail, and, get them to make some decisions about where they want it to be.
Seems like we ought to have some sort of growth district or something.
Yeah.
We should do a comprehensive plan. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that
Do
before.
you have a few things you can work on in the next few weeks on this, or you?
Yeah, David and I will work on this, and I think what we want to do is we want to try to figure out some sort of language of what we were just talking about these
Good.
these little side streets, how we would, develop this ordinance, as it
And he's
pertains.
given us proposed language.
Yeah.
He-
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, can I still have a shot at blowing you away in December with
Sure,
a nice little
sure.
packet that has everything in one spot?
yeah, that would be great.
That'd be great.
I will,
We'll give you one shot.
You've done this before.
Oh, yeah, but I'll use my one shot and try to take advantage of it, so, okay.
Okay.
If you want, I mean, you could email me,
Sure.
at some point, we can get some of that information, and David and I can look it over and discuss it, see if there's any things we change to it before the next meeting.
Yeah, and then I guess real quick before we get started, other than road and marijuana, is there anything else that we want to include in that full, report memo style, like
It was the
the
third one. What was
asphalt,
the third
concrete paving plants? Do we
I think
want
these are
to
the two that
put that
we're
language in there as
focusing on
well?
right
Or is that not
We got our
controversial
hands
with the select board? Are we on the same page there?
I think it is controversial with the select board.
Okay.
I would certainly do that with the removing the 25-foot reduced setback in the village district to 50. And because we have language on that.
That's you guys, not the
now.
select
Yeah.
I
board.
That's
believe
right.
that was brought up to the select board, and they said they didn't want to work on that right now.
Not in the
Yeah.
language, we're thinking about changing the language a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
changing, okay.
Yeah,
So change-
that's all.
Yeah, but that's you guys that are on
Yep.
that
Yeah,
one.
That's right,
yeah.
yeah. So the key ones, yeah, the key
Ain't my
ones we got
butt
from the
about that.
select board really were the road standards, the the state mandated residential development stuff, and we're not gonna do much with those for a little while yet until they clarify
Well, they've
their
gotta get their
position on
act
that.
together
That's
before
right.
we can.
And marijuana. Those were the three
Using the
priorities.
current statute, which allows us to make decisions about the 25-foot setback.
Yep,
A couple of nice houses have gone in East Sebago. In other words, the house, that's the gray colored one.
yep,
It seems to have actually a good-sized lawn and good-sized side lawn.
Yeah.
The setbacks work for that neighborhood.
Yep.
So,
I don't think-
things are happening positively.
I don't think we should touch the grandfathered lots. Well, this would be for.
Brand new ones, all right.
Yeah, brand new ones, yeah.
Okay, then that makes sense,
Yeah.
but you gotta also say, and this is just a thought, compatibility with the neighborhood.
Right.
In other words, that 25-foot setback in that new house looks to be a nice suburban lawn setback, so just a.
So does the one up at like 22
You need to
Sebago?
think about moving to our meeting anyway in a minute.
Yeah.
yep.
So,
Right.
sorry, just to clarify, so I would be doing roads and marijuana.
Okay.
And that's
Yep.
it?
That's it.
No other
I think that's
asphalt
it
or?
for right now.
Yeah.
And focus on the two things they were interested in, try to get a little better
We're limited.
response or a little more focused response from it.
I'll come up and pack that there.
Oh, good, thank you.
The one thing
First
we
one's the
don't,
bullet page points, the second one is the questions. And if you can focus on that for 20 minutes, you've done well.
yep. Now, the other question we talked about toward the end of the meeting yesterday was really about thinking about water and sewerage and those kinds of things, particularly in dense areas. So we talked a little bit about, I thought at least got no pushback on investigating that a bit in terms of what we could do to determine water quality and septic system things. So I'm going to spend a bit of time pushing a bit further on that
Yeah,
and
Well,
start
what's
to
the
put something
technology,
together.
either requesting people to allow us to check their systems
That's
or
right.
testing generally in the surrounding aquifer? I mean, how do you go about doing that? I don't even know technically how you go about doing it.
I think you probably start with shoreline zoning, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Homes within shoreline zoning.
Yeah.
With that.
Even if we do it going forward with every application that we get in those areas.
Right. That's
Look
right.
for certain
Right.
measurements and
And
information.
you could,
As we go.
Yeah.
and you can get it towards, in order to get a permit, you have to
Yeah.
do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we've been going forward, we've been finding that the systems that are being installed will meet the purposes
Yeah.
of that. But the question is some of the antique ones or the ancient ones,
Some of them,
Yeah.
what that consists of, an old,
Yeah.
we can't touch those unless they come,
yeah,
unless they,
what's your system
Yeah.
to test that?
But
What's
you
your
could,
what's
you could
your
require,
technology?
when the system is pumped every 5 years for
Yeah.
systems that are 10 years or older, which is required right now, that there is at least a visual inspection by the pumping, the licensed pumping company, and a report from him signifying that it appears that the effluent in the tank has not reached
No, yeah, it's-
maximum level.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you know, that's better than nothing, I guess, for now. But
Yeah.
we can
That's
figure
all I
that
have.
one out, I guess, as we go.
And Paul, if you got some other ideas, put some thoughts together. That's all.
Like I said, I don't know the technology that you
Yeah.
use to test, so it's like the point thing is new to me, so.
Okay.
I remember they talked about the point as a water source.
you never heard of that before, I'm sorry.
So let's close this workshop. Good. And
We're going
let's
good.
take just a couple of minutes to,
You have to make a motion?
yeah,
Make a motion to close the workshop?
thank you.
Second it.
All in favor?
All's in favor, too. All right, yeah, I'm gonna walk out for a second, too. We'll take just a couple of minutes, we'll get started. Sebago, I'd like to call this meeting to order. The time is 6:07. Tonight's agenda is available by the sign-in sheet. If you have not signed in, please do so. We'll take a roll call. Board members here in attendance. Paul White,
Present.
Tina Vanas,
Here,
Dave McCarthy is not here, Dave Welch,
Here?
and myself here. We'll also acknowledge the town staff present. We have Christina Robinson, the code enforcement officer. We have Brett Winken for town planning, and we have Garrett Jones for executive secretary. Thank you all for being here. So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So this is a public proceeding, not a public hearing, and unless the planning board specifically votes to go into executive session, anyone here has the right to hear everything that is being said and to look at all the exhibits or materials that are presented. Please notify the chairperson, myself, if you are unable to see or hear. The board works from a published agenda, which is available tonight by the sign-up sheet. Has everybody got an agenda? All cued into that? No, I can review that. Okay. Is there any further correspondence? Okay, very good. And minutes from last meeting, could I have a motion to accept? Yes.
Before we do that, on
Yes.
page 4,
Yep.
under
In the minutes?
C, yeah, in the
Yep.
minutes. It's just, I think it's a typo, but I didn't understand, everything else was a 5, there were 5 to 0, and this was 4 to 0.
It may have been that someone was absent during one of the motions. I can review the video just to be
Well, no,
100% sure.
that's what you think happened, it just, it popped out at me here.
Paul was absent for the vote.
For the vote. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
I
and
think
that's it?
I think you just need to use it.
Good enough, I just,
Yep. Okay, good.
okay, with that, I'd make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting, of the October meeting.
I'll second it.
Very good. All in favor? Very good. So, we're kind of open to the public for questions that you may have, not regarding one of the applications, any general questions about our proceedings or whatever else. All's quiet, okay, very good. So, on to old business. In our agenda, we have 2 pieces of old business. We have, we're going to be talking about 47 Hogfat Hill Road, and we're going to be talking about 22 Sebago Road. So let's move forward with the 47 Hogfat Hill Road. Application submitted by David Kimball for a proposed business use for a storage garage on a non-conforming lot. Okay.
Basically, at one point we scheduled a public hearing, right, but you didn't show
Yeah, I
up.
didn't make it, I don't know.
So basically, that's the only question I've had, should we reschedule a public hearing, and hope you'll show up next time.
Did we table
Yeah, I
it?
think we did, because we usually don't conduct a hearing without the guy
The
being
person
present.
present.
So we have to make a motion to take it off the table?
Whenever formally, make a motion,
Yeah,
take it off the
I'll make a
table.
motion, we take this application off the table.
Okay,
Second.
I'll second it. Okay. Do we want to schedule a hearing? The next meeting?
Yeah, next meeting.
No, he's here tonight, I believe, to finalize.
Business.
Aren't you?
But he wasn't, we tabled the public hearing and didn't hold one.
I didn't make
So in other words, I think we
Okay,
need
sorry,
to,
Yes,
That's
yes,
what we're
yes.
talking
I didn't make that
Yes,
last meeting.
okay,
I
yeah.
sent the stuff out to all the
Okay.
neighbors, but I don't know what happened. I just kind of
Okay.
forgot about it and
All right.
kind of went on one
I
thing.
think that's what you need to do, because unless the town wants to re-vote on the public hearing, well, we voted to have one and we scheduled it, and I guess we'll have to ask the applicant to reschedule, hopefully get it done next meeting, and we can get you here, and
Yeah, when is the next meeting?
we could go right to vote on the thing after the hearing.
Yeah.
This
So
is,
the next meeting, we're having training,
Yeah, I
online
understand
training. Can we look at the next week, the following week, to schedule a different meeting?
What's going on
Can't do
next,
Tuesday because of the select board.
Yeah,
what's going on the next, December the 9th, they're gonna train me?
nobody can train you.
Is that possible, Paul? Let's see.
No, I don't think so.
We have to look at like a state training thing.
Yeah.
16th is Tuesday,
Yes,
but can we do it the 15th?
on a Monday?
I can't do it Wednesday,
Okay,
unless you don't mind if I don't.
Well, we'd have our regular meeting on the 9th, correct?
Well, we're having, we can explain that. I'm sorry, Paul, I forgot you didn't get the information. But there is a training, an MMA training that we signed up the board for on the 9th.
So we're gonna do that on the 9th.
Yeah.
And then the next week, you wanna do the meeting.
Yes.
15th, on the 15th, on the Monday.
Yes, please.
I don't know whether it was part of my package I missed or.
I'll get you information
Yeah,
on
Tina,
that.
are you available?
I mean, I'm putting in MMA training. What is the next date you're talking about?
The 15th,
Down.
Monday. The next week.
15th.
And that doesn't conflict with a
15th.
so that's December 15th.
select board meeting
Okay,
on
I'm
the
good.
first and the third Tuesdays.
It'll be, the 15th is a Monday.
15th is a
15th is
Monday.
Monday.
I'm good.
That
I'm
works?
good, yeah.
Okay.
What time?
For the regular meeting or for
Yeah.
the training on the 9th?
No, the 9th, I would assume would
I
start
believe
at,
it's at 4 o'clock.
For
Four.
the regular meeting will be as usual.
okay, what about the 15th? First,
So
let's go to the 15th, what
let's
time?
do-
15th,
let's
we'll
do a
the
workshop
meeting at 6
first.
o'clock.
Yeah.
We can do the meeting at 6
it'd
o'clock.
be 5
if
o'clock
you
on
want
the
to.
15th.
if
We're
you
gonna
guys
start,
decide
we'll
to
do a
Why
workshop
don't we
at
do
5.
5:30 and again discuss, we'll make some
Okay.
progress on
Yeah,
these two issues we're working on.
so 5
Okay,
o'clock
planning
workshop
board.
and 6 o'clock meeting. Okay.
5,
So it would be the
5:30
15th
workshop?
of December, which is a Monday.
5.
6?
5:30?
o'clock. No, 5 is the workshop.
6 o'clock.
5, all right, 5.
Okay, 5 is
Everybody
the
square on
workshop.
that? Good.
Is ended. All right, Christine, let's go back to the 9th.
Well,
What time is the training?
it begins at 4. I'll have to get you a time for the ending, but I know it runs into the regular time of the meeting.
What is it, just a general presentation on planning board issues?
Planning board work and ZBA procedures.
Right?
Oh, that's not the
It's a
FO?
digital one.
Oh, okay. Oh,
We're
so-
gonna,
So are we saying on the 15th we'll hold a public hearing? Is that what we're looking for? For this
Yes,
table?
yes,
Yeah?
Yep.
Regular
Yes.
meeting.
All right,
yep,
sounds
Okay.
good.
Do you want to do a motion for it?
We'll be there.
yep.
Oh, wait a minute, yeah, we do need to do a motion. I make a
Yep.
motion that we, that he has to have a public hearing next or the next regular meeting, which will be Monday, the 15th.
15th.
He needs to notify people and all that.
Yeah, I'll let it, I've got all that, I'll read it.
Public meeting, hearing will be at 6 o'clock.
All right, yeah, I'll redo it all, we'll get it over.
Okay. Got a motion?
Good, I'll second it.
just bring that.
All in
All in
favor?
agreement?
Right, good.
All right. Garrett, do you know, are all the fees paid and all those kinds of things?
For him?
Yeah, everything's all set?
All he needs is the public hearing and
Yeah, we've already
We
got
got
the
it.
project. We
yeah,
just
it
have
would
to.
just be the business application.
And could you, in that information, there was some criteria he had to meet in order?
Yeah, he made a couple of conditions, and I can get that to you.
Okay,
So you're 100%.
Yeah, if you would, yeah. I was looking for that in my back notes and I couldn't find it.
I probably put the conditions on
In the minutes.
on the minutes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Of the, whatever motion you guys make to approve it.
if you would send that, just
Yeah.
about that.
Sure.
Great, thank you. All right. Okay. So let's move on. Next old business. 22 Sebago Road, map 018. Application submitted by Judith McGuire, minor alteration to previously approved site plan.
Who's here to tell us about it?
And
We're just taking the breezeway off the side, that's all.
all you gotta do, can you show us on the drawing where that is?
The end. You putting anything back?
Bring my plan together.
We got it, yeah.
Yeah, I got the plan right there.
You got it right there? Okay, great.
Everybody leave in.
Lean.
I don't have it in. So basically, it's, you can't even see it, but it's that Right there, that,
Yeah, oh, I see it right there.
yeah,
Behind.
so that's gone.
That's gone, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the,
That little porch entryway,
Yes.
The sidewalk.
so basically making it less than what it was.
Yeah, it's right
Yeah,
there.
the porch is
Oh, there we
gone.
go.
That's all gone.
So
Okay.
you're taking this portion off? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, right across, yeah.
Are you still leaving that little kink on the side here?
No, that got straightened out.
Are you just changing it to a rectangular building?
Yes.
Is there an increase or decrease in the square footage?
Decrease.
All right, it's gonna remain within the setback?
Yes.
All right.
We moved it,
Very-
we moved it to a better position.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't hard the way you had to G-R it to.
Minor
The
change.
foundation looks good, I saw it.
Yeah, it's coming along great.
Make sure we have documentation for the change, and that will, I will be ready to go.
I need to provide it, or?
Well, that's basically it, make sure
Yes,
it's
that's perfect.
documented in the file that you made the change.
Yeah, I would just, even if you hand draw it in the drawing
Oh, you want me
where
to?
that's been scratched out, yeah.
Okay.
The change, yep.
You basically
That
take
would be
that
helpful.
plan there even, and
Huh?
that plan that I just had,
Yeah,
you know, and just,
take it off that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And, you want me to,
Do you got one of these?
I do it at home.
Okay,
Do you need it?
Can you do it on yours, David, and submit it?
sure. Yeah, I just did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it saves some time.
Mine's the next step with.
Yeah, you want to just, like initial that or something, probably. Initial the changes.
Because we're gonna talk about, the other proposed persons to help with
Okay,
this second.
And you could even make a add on notation and remove a notation. probably.
Select board the 16th of
It's
December.
the first and the third, first and the third
Yeah.
Tuesdays. of
Great.
the month.
That'll be second
Yeah.
and the
All right,
16th.
okay.
Thank you very much. Carry on.
Thank you.
So do you guys just want to leave
So,
it?
yeah, make a motion, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Make a motion that we accept changes to the drawing.
As
Take a porch.
noted on this, on whatever plan that is.
Yep.
Yep,
Good.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Have fun.
That was an official document, that was easy.
Okay.
All right, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
good.
Yep.
How long before you're gonna be done? How long before you're gonna be done?
Well, they're gonna put the deck on Monday or Tuesday, and then after Thanksgiving, they'll have it all framed.
It's crazy, once it
Okay.
starts, it goes.
Great. All right.
It'll be nice.
I just live down the street, so I watch it.
Yeah, come on down anytime.
All right,
I'll put you in the escalator.
I'm good.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Oh, goodness. All right, so we're gonna move on to new business.
Yep.
So we have map 10, lot 16, 60 Hog Fat Hill Road. Pre-application submitted by Emma Maines for a proposed aesthetic business home occupation. Okay, so, first off, does anyone on the board have a conflict of interest regarding this application?
I guess she's worked on my face, haven't you noticed?
Okay. This is a pre-application meeting to determine whether or not the application is major or minor. Site plan review and request escrow, and an application fee be paid by the applicant. Have the fees been paid? Do we have any fees paid at this point? Okay.
Point of order. We have a memo from the code enforcement officer. Do you want to,
Yeah, when we spoke, Ms. Maines and the planner, it was discovered that a portion of the house has been modified without permits. The house is listed in assessing as a one bedroom.
Yep.
And I'm not sure exactly what was added. I think it was 2 bedrooms that was added down on the first floor where the garage used to be. So I did ask her to have the property owner contact me for permitting and to correct it. He's been busy, he hasn't been able to make it in to talk to me. She did explain to me today that he is working on trying to set something up with me. But at this time, it's still a violation.
So, does the board feel that we should pause on this
No,
until the permitting has been?
no. I think this young woman is trying to make a living, number one, to support the family. And I don't think the violation is anything serious to endangering as far as fire hazards or whatever. Am I right on that, Christina, or not?
Yeah, it's not like a safety issue, but I do need to understand what's existing there now. As far as bedrooms and septic capacity.
Yep.
I feel like this pre-application could probably happen tonight, but before going on to the application meeting, she would probably have to.
Okay.
That's why I don't think we should table it, David, because it's a pre-application.
Yeah.
She needs to take certain steps to bring herself into compliance with our codes,
That's right.
and she's in the process of doing that.
She is.
What time scale do you feel she could accomplish that in?
That depends on when her property owner gets in touch with me.
Well, the property owner needs to do that before we could go forward to approval. We'd need to have a compliant building.
Right.
So that's a necessity before we go forward. Wouldn't prevent us from doing some other preliminary questions, but we would be inappropriate to have a final vote until the
Right,
vote.
but this is a pre-application, that's why I'm
Right.
saying no so quickly, David.
No, I was
Yeah.
wondering if, as long as Christina's good with it,
Yep.
there you go.
Well, I guess we get some drawings here, but it doesn't really
Yep.
explain to me.
Let me carry
Maybe a
on
few
for a minute, Paul,
pictures, yeah.
if I could. So just to explain kind of what the process is here. By the way, have you connected with the owner in terms of those violations? Okay, good, thank you. So as we move forward with this, in each instance, it's on the burden of the applicant to demonstrate compliance with provisions of all applicable municipal ordinances and state law. Just if you would, you can state your name in just a moment, and we'll go ahead with this presentation. All right, so we'll be asking questions and providing some insights in terms of what might work or not work, those kinds of things. So tell us your story, give us the presentation.
My name is Emma Maines. I'm a licensed esthetician. I've been licensed for about 5 years now. I got my license in 2020. I've been working at Carmel Salon in Cornish for the past 5 years. Basically, the salon shut down, and the owner of the building made me like my own room, and I had that for about a year. But there's more businesses in the building now, and I kind of just wanted to leave and do my own thing. Where I had like the space in my house, so now I just want to take clientele out of my house. And I have all established clientele. They're all going to follow me to my place, and it's by appointment only, so there's not people who's showing up. I do want to put a sign at the end of my driveway, but it's not going to be a big sign. And yeah, parking's established. I have plenty of parking space. It doesn't interfere with any of the neighbors.
Now, you rent a home for Mr. York?
He owns it, and I live with him. So
Okay,
I
right.
live with him.
The
You live with
domestic
Mr. York.
partners.
And and within the house, there's some changes been made to allow you to have a little
Yeah, so-
studio that you can conduct your business?
Yeah, it was just like when you walked in, it was a garage, but now we're actually living down there. It turned into, we have a bathroom, a bedroom, and then like the main area is another bedroom. And then like, it's completely separate. You have to go around the building and go into another door, and that's where my business is gonna be. Then you go up the stairs, and it's just like a 1-bedroom with a bathroom up there, and I just converted it into like my just little studio.
You might benefit from a few pictures of the building and interior, whether these guys want to go inside and walk, I don't know, but pictures might better explain what we're looking at and talking about. How large, and again, how large a lot is is up there? How big is, you know, how big the property, the house is on? No
It's at
idea.
least 3 acres.
3 acres?
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Because I don't know if we need a sketch lot for home occupation anyway. But maybe a couple pictures would allow us
Did
to
you see this, Paul? Did you
see it better. Yeah,
Okay.
just a couple pictures of the building interiors would give us an idea. Better than this, I know what exactly I'm looking at. And other than that,
The other thing is the parking.
parking, all right?
Her depiction of the parking is she's got cars stacked behind one another.
Okay, well,
So
then
there's
that's
plenty
something
of
we
room
can
for one car to pull up and then usually, you know, there's only a client's there and then as soon as the other one pulls in, the other one's leaving, pretty much. Because I have them scheduled like hour to hour throughout the day. So as soon as another car pulls up, the other one's about to leave.
Do you've got 4 vehicles drawn in here, do you anticipate?
No, there's only usually my vehicle in the driveway.
And this is different from a hair studio, hair salon, this is other types of
I do
services.
eyelash extensions and facials.
Okay,
There's not a lot of chemicals
so there's
involved.
not, yeah, any chemicals or disposable
No.
liquids, anything like that?
Is the upstairs already all set?
It's in the process of being set up, yes.
It is, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is there construction around that, or is that just setting it up?
It's all, yeah, just hanging stuff out.
Okay.
We need to decide whether we have public hearing would be desirable and a site walk.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you plan on becoming a licensed practitioner at any point? No.
Yeah.
She is. Her license is in the thing, David.
Yeah, it's different, there's different types. There's a licensed aesthetic practitioner, and then there's an esthetician, that's however you pronounce that. One requires that you're a registered nurse, and the other one,
That's like for Botox and injections and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
mine's
yeah.
not that.
Do you do that?
No.
No.
I know a girl, if you need.
I need so much help, honey. I'd take a whole army.
All right.
no, I was just wondering what your plan was for the future.
Yeah, no, just the esthetician license. I just renew it every year, so.
Yep.
I guess, are there any materials, liquid chemicals, whatever you need to dispose of?
No.
No?
I do a dermaplane facial, it's like the removal of the peach fuzz of your face, and it has a little blade, and I put it in like a biohazard, like a little box, and I don't throw it in the trash, so.
So, proper.
I-
Just thinking of things we need to answer if you came next time and you were in compliance.
Yeah. And honestly, like, not a lot of my clients even use the restroom. I mean, they're there for an hour to get their lashes filled, and they're not there for hours on end, so I'm not like, I don't think the septic or anything is an issue. I'm not using the bathroom a lot, basically, I guess.
Yep.
We still only just use the one bathroom downstairs. So,
How near to your property is the closest house, the other closest house?
we can see the house, the neighbors.
You
right
can see a
across.
house.
Quite a
right?
ways, yeah. It's a good
So it's a
distance.
few hundred feet.
Yeah.
There's a buffer of trees and there's a good distance between the houses.
Well, I think that relevant to whether we warrant a public hearing, if there's nobody really like living in eyesight or earshot, they don't making any noise.
Yeah.
But that's a question we should ask. Do we want to have a public hearing for this lady?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You?
I think we're okay without it in this case.
It sounds like it's pretty low impact.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how old the disposal system is, the septic system is?
I believe it was never, the installation was never verified by the previous code enforcement officer, but the date is 2017.
Excuse me, which day?
2017.
2017, okay.
And has the system been pumped in that period of time, do you know? Nobody knows. Yeah,
Let's focus on,
yeah, okay.
Okay.
so I'd like to make a motion, we
Okay,
don't
so
need
let's make them, do we want to have a site walk first?
Well, public hearing you're on.
Okay.
I'd make a motion, we don't need a public hearing.
Seconded?
Seconded, okay.
All in favor?
I'm okay, that's all right. Okay,
Sidewalk?
As to
And
sidewalk, if she provides photographs that can show us the parking, the building, general location and whatever, I don't know that we need a sidewalk, but that's mine.
Can take pictures.
good. You're willing to bring pictures, that's great, okay.
Okay.
So,
I make a motion that we don't need a site walk.
okay, I'll second that. All in favor? Okay.
So, you paid the fees? The question then is, what, do we have everything we'll need to proceed? Number one, we'll need her to have evidence she come in compliance with the codes. And then after that, whatever else you want.
Okay, good. So what'll happen now is that both the CEO and town planner will determine if the application is complete. And to be complete, it must include your paid application fees, escrow, any documents required. And if the planner determines that the application contains all the documentation required and fees are paid, the applicant may be placed on the planning board agenda. So we will do that at that point. Very good, okay.
Tell your partner to get off his duff and get his information down to the
That's
code
right.
enforcement
That's
officer.
right,
I will, yeah.
Okay.
I promise.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, honey. Good luck.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
So I'll get
Okay. Ready to move on? So we have another pre-application. This is for map 19, lot 076, 20 Harvard Street. Pre-application submitted by Lena Minivero for the conversion of a storage use structure to a single-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot.
So Lena's not, she's on vacation, but she has her son, and you have an authorization form to speak to him.
Okay.
She's going to be on the phone too, answering
Okay.
questions.
All right. Does anyone here have a conflict of interest regarding this potential application? Yep. No, sir? Okay. So this is a pre-application meeting. It's just like you saw just a moment ago. Just we'll go with that. We're going to determine major and minor, but if you would, why don't you go ahead and explain what you're up to?
Me, call her real quick and I'll put her on speaker.
Okay.
Like, no idea what's going on.
So I'll give you a little bit of info.
Okay, good.
It's a non-conforming lot down on Harvard Street, Long Beach area. And it's listed in assessing records as a garage with an unfinished upper. At some point, someone without permits, she's trying to buy the property, finished off the upper portion into a dwelling unit and installed a septic. So it has been used as a dwelling unit, but of course it's not legally to use as storage in its garage at this point. It hasn't been converted legally to a dwelling unit. So what they want to do is purchase the garage, convert the second floor into a dwelling unit officially through the planning board and through my office. And when we spoke last, she wants to install a new septic system too.
To what? Could you say it again, please, Christine?
Solid new septic system.
Oh, new septic,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. Install a new septic.
Well, I guess what here we go.
Has the property been purchased at this point?
No, she's got a purchase and sale. She's got authorization from the owner to do all of this.
It's hard to hear, but I'm trying.
Relative to this, which direction is the
So the property,
114
the property is owned by the abutter?
It is, yes.
To the right?
And you're standing there, it is to the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be going to that lot?
It's a separate
It's an
lot.
yeah, it's a separate lot.
It always was.
Yeah. Okay. I guess what I'm looking at here is, I'd like to see the distance from the leach field to the proposed well.
Yeah.
Distance from the leach field to the neighbor's wells within 100 feet.
I believe that's on septic, I think she submitted a septic design and it was listed on there.
It's shown here, but.
It shows it, doesn't give any distance, there's no dimension on it, and it doesn't show the neighbor's wells.
Yes, it does.
She said that she has submitted it, and it does.
It does.
We don't-
Oh, okay, so it
We
does
don't have
have
it.
it on the last site plan on her septic. It shows her proposed well, which is in the front, but you're correct, it does not show the distance
Yeah,
to
it doesn't have
that.
the distance, doesn't show the neighbor's wells either.
Yeah.
And,
No, it shows the distance to both neighbors' lots, including the septic systems for both. There is no septic system on the lot to the rear of the property because it's undeveloped. But the surveyor did provide distances. Shoot, I don't have the copy in front of me, so it makes it hard. But the surveyor and I did do all the research as far as the distance goes from both other lots that are adjacent to his property. And it is within, actually,
Here's the tentative.
do we know the distances from the neighbor's wells to the proposed
turn on the
leach field?
speaker and open up the application, hang on.
And we would probably need, so you've had it surveyed, or a surveyor's come and looked at it?
The surveyor, the gentleman that came that did the septic design is a surveyor. He does not do it anymore, surveying, but he is by trade started out as a surveyor. So he did find the corners of the lots that were existing, and then also with the research that he did from the resources on both online and from the neighboring lots, we did locate where the other septic systems are. And like I said, they are definitely outside of the range that we would need to be for it to be, you know, according to what the town and the state would require.
So I just want to say that she has to purchase the property, and before she invests a lot of money, she's looking to get, like, make sure that she's not going to be denied this.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, question I have is about the wells in the back, the front corner essentially, and across to the proposed disposal area is certainly not 100 feet.
From which well?
If you look at the
Her
well,
proposed well.
it's on the
Her
property.
Right, it is slightly less, but as you know, I can reduce the setback to 60. I think it's more, Lena, when we talked about this, was it like 75 or 80 feet was the estimated?
I think, yes, I do think, so depending on where, so there are a couple options for, I could keep the existing septic tank where it is and then put a leach field behind it. However, the gentleman that came, the septic designer, did recommend that I move that septic tank to just behind the property, because then it would give it a full, instead of a 45 coming out of the property, it would give it a full 90 directly out. So that would then put the leach field closer than where it would be if I left the septic tank where it is now. And I do believe it would be about 75 to 80 feet out. But again, I want to make sure that I am, you know, on the property and not, you know, encroaching on other areas. So I do believe it's 80 feet.
So does that need DHHS review, or no?
Couple basic questions. On this lot is shown as 50 by 100. The only building on that lot currently is the garage.
Yes.
Now, do they own property adjacent to this lot being shown?
No.
Okay. Is the garage adjacent to anything, any property?
Lena, the property owner lives directly next door, correct?
Is
But
she-
it's a
Any
separate,
questions she just asked?
I'm
She's
sorry.
asking if the.
He's on lot
property owner
271.
lives adjacent
Yeah,
to-
271.
Yeah.
She lives in 271 and this is an adjacent
Yep.
lot contain.
Yeah.
Okay, just trying to get that straightened
The
out.
neighbor lives directly next door to the lot, right?
Yes, so the gentleman that lives if you're looking at the property directly from Harmon Street, straight ahead of you, to the right is the mobile home, who is David Hurd, and then to the left is Jim, I can't remember his last name, but I spoke to him too. And again, we talked about where his septic was and where his well was. Again, it doesn't encroach on any,
I'm just asking one
numbers that.
specific question though. You own this property, 50 by 100. Is there any other properties you own
She does
nearby
not.
or adjacent?
No.
Okay, so this is her holding in the town of Sebago. Why, I guess the answer is,
She
Why?
has other properties in town.
One other lot.
One other lot in town, but she doesn't own anything adjacent to those.
okay,
Nothing
and
contiguous.
where's the lot in town?
I think it's on Joy Street.
Okay, that's all I'm asking, and just trying to get clear what we're talking about. 100 by 50 with a garage on it, for whatever reason, somebody put a garage on it, and you want to fix that into a unit. Okay, all right, well, thank you. Trying to get some of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would ask for a survey as well, because it's non-conforming
This is a
lot, it's
survey,
very
right?
I
tight.
think that the thing that she wants to know before moving forward with the sale is this something that you would allow? She doesn't want to put the money into a survey to have it be denied.
So does this already has, you have all the means of egress for the second floor,
She'd have to do modifications. I haven't been inside and I mean, I have a floor plan from her. I've never been inside and our records show nothing because it wasn't done legally.
Okay,
But she'd like to do it legally.
okay.
What's the current status of the building? Is it being used as a dwelling unit or as a garage?
It has, go ahead. I'll let you
The
speak.
garage was actually used as a dwelling unit. It does have water, it does have power, it does have a septic. My understanding is it was used originally as a dwelling unit. I don't know how long it was used for, but it has a heating system and everything. So again, I'm just trying to do this legally. I don't want to invest in a survey. If I have to do it, I probably will bow out of doing this just because of the cost of trying to get this done. I'm not sure what else a survey would provide for you folks if I've already done, like I said, I've used the septic person to mark out exactly where the property lines are for this.
Okay. Well, how long have you owned the property?
She does
She has
have
no,
to-
she has no, she's trying to buy it.
She wants to buy it.
Right, this is what she's trying to do.
Okay.
Can I ask you one quick question? I noticed on your purchase and sales agreement that expired on the 13th. Have you extended that?
This is not down here. Is that what you want? This is,
Can you ask
This
that
is
again? I'm
one.
sorry.
Huh? On your purchase and sales agreement, it appears it expired on November 13th.
Yeah, so that was the original, sir. That was extended until December of, I think, December the 19th. And I
Okay.
apologize for appearing by phone. I'm on my honeymoon.
Oh, good for you.
Congratulations.
I'm happy to participate as best I can.
We got other things to do besides this tonight then.
Another question for Christina. Christina, they're currently not in compliance and there's never been any official recognition of the garage as a dwelling unit?
No, but it's clear that it has been used as a dwelling unit and the owner's trying to sell it. And Lena's willing to make it better, improve it by putting a new septic system in and bringing it into compliance with the code enforcement office.
I guess the question might be, was it used as a dwelling unit prior to our present ordinances?
It was used as a dwelling unit illegally.
Up until when?
Right now, it's still a dwelling unit upstairs,
Well, how
but
old
nobody's
is-
living in it.
How old is the building?
Like it's not grandfathered in. I think.
Oh, no, it's not a grandfathered
Okay.
situation.
How old, do we
The
know
lot.
how old the building is?
I don't know how old the garage is, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the year on it.
Just general information, thank you.
Brett, what's your thoughts on this?
Well,
Truthfully, I mean, I think they're trying to do the right thing here. They're trying to make the situation better and do it the right way moving forward. I have a question for Christina in terms of the actual process. So where this is more just gauging the board's interest in the approval, what does that next step in the process look like for them? Do they need to
For the
formalize? For both the board and for her as well?
Yeah, she needs to get her approval on the conversion of use and to convert the situation into a legal dwelling unit and not just storage, right?
And that's what that application looks like, is like a conversion of use
Yeah.
type? Okay.
Now, when you
then-
say conversion of use, what are you specifically referring to?
Change of use.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, yeah. exactly.
Does our code allow for that?
well, yeah, it's under non-conforming lots. Any change of use requires the planning board's approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it can't go back.
You just
after
can't
that.
convert back to the original use afterwards. You can't turn it back into a garage or
That's right.
whatever afterwards, yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I asked about garages was it pertinent to any particular building nearby, and they just sold it
It's
all?
on a separate lot. It's on its own lot. So I don't know.
Well, who was using it as a garage, I guess, is the question.
We don't
Doesn't
know.
matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, say she was to come across this property and wanted to convert it into, well, that's what she wants to do. Is there any impediment in our statute to her doing that? Anything that says she can't?
It appears that it's allowed for Mr., is it Mr. Hurd, to own the lot that he owns with the trailer on, and that garage is totally separate lots, even though they're non-conforming lots. That was totally legal, and he can turn around and sell it. So you know,
Any actions of the laws that refer to the merging of co-owned, I mean,
not in this case.
not in this case.
I mean, I think the impacts have happened, right? It's been operated as such for the past few years, and if those impacts have existed for a while, and they're looking to do it the right way, then
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the whole point of the
Yeah,
process.
this is
right?
one of those areas where if they've been using it, if we continue to use it, at least you'd want the water and the septic
Exactly.
addressed.
Yeah.
So,
Once she bought the lot and there was nothing on it, there's no impediment to her as long as she meets the setback, et cetera, to putting anything on it.
I noticed
So there has to be a pre-existing building.
that in the floor plan, there's no kitchen.
It doesn't appear that there's a kitchen in there at this time. There may have been before, I'm not sure. But it is framed out upstairs. It does have a 3/4 bath, it does have a living room, a bedroom, a closet. It does look like, and as I mentioned before, the current owner does state that someone did live there for quite some time. And there was an exhaust for, what was there for a heating system. And as I think I did include as well, the septic inspection that the home inspector did do as well.
Okay. And the septic system is, you said 2017, you thought?
No, that was the other girl. This
Oh,
one,
that was the other
there's no information, and I believe, Lena, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't know where the leach field is, and we don't know the capacity.
Yeah, so there is a 1,000-gallon septic tank that appears to be empty. It doesn't, but in acceptable use to be continuing to be used. It doesn't look like there is a leach field, however, there could be. It may have caved in, we're not sure, but I'm willing to bring that back up to code, of course, to make sure that that is done correctly.
Just a point of information, if that septic tank is empty and has been empty for
Yes.
quite a while, there's a good chance it's cracked, because
No,
it wouldn't.
no, it appears that septic tank, they did a full video, and it appears to be in very good condition, little to no solids that are inside that tank right now.
That would be unusual with frost, I think, but anyway, yeah, maybe, yeah. So they're gonna pull the tank out and move it anyway, and at that point, they would inspect it anyway.
But I think,
I don't know if I would move it just because the risk, if it is older, like you said, it could crack, so I would replace it if I were to move it.
Okay.
So again, I think there's two options there, either, put it where the septic design person said, which is directly behind that property, or leave it where it is and add a leach field.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation, but,
With the issue though, the change of use, in other words, it was a garage, someone's changed the use and made it into a dwelling unit,
Illegally.
illegal. Can we approve the change of use retroactively? I mean, what exactly does our statute say about it?
The ordinance?
Yeah.
What does the ordinance say? That's a good question, the
I don't
actual
think it really
words.
addresses that.
Well, we have
Yeah.
non-
The difference between.
I just don't want to say the wrong thing, so. Oh, that's land, so it's structures.
Let's look at it.
It's not shoreland, it's just a non-conforming
No.
lot. And so it's regular land use,
Yeah.
and it's existing non-conforming structures. And so,
Can't be enlarging. Obviously, that's not what they're doing here. They're not making the structure any larger.
It says, no such structure shall be enlarged or altered in any way that increases its nonconformity, and nonconformity, I'm assuming, would be the setbacks, and
All that.
as long as you
Right.
don't encroach on the side line, the front setback, and it appears that what she's doing is within the existing building, which would be grandfathered. and,
There's a conformity of use.
It's the building.
The building, yeah, but is to talk about use of the building. I mean,
Oh, well, it's a
changing the
permitted
use from
It's
a
allowed.
garage to a dwelling unit, is it right?
But it's a permitted use
allowed.
within that district,
It's a
so,
permitted use.
right,
Okay.
so.
So that looks like they can change the use, and if they don't enlarge the building, they can
Yep.
change
Right.
it. All right.
It's
Yeah,
a
it says
gambrel roof, by the way.
I
So
know.
there's quite a bit of space. It's a gambrel roof on the
Yeah.
building, so
Yeah.
it's a quite
Gambrel, yeah.
spacious upstairs,
Right.
actually, yeah.
We
So
feel-
under existing non-conforming uses of land, an existing non-conforming use may not be altered or increased nor extended to occupy a greater area of land than occupied at the effective date of this ordinance or any amendment so as to increase non-conformance. And it appears it doesn't do that, so.
Well, that's the build, there's two issues. The building is a non-conforming building.
Yep.
And the use is a non-conforming use.
Yep.
But they're saying the use as a dwelling unit is allowed in that district.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and it's a grandfathered lot.
And it's
And
already
it
there.
looks like we're gonna address the issue that the water and septic is appropriate. We feel that that's
yeah, we'll
appropriate.
look into that. I
Okay.
think what she's looking for today is just to know that she can move forward with everything, and then I don't think she has a problem getting you anything we want to see to do the.
Well, there's, again, two questions. Is it legally allowed for her to go ahead forward? And does it and then the second question, does it technically meet the requirements of a well and septic? Which is two separate questions. One is, can she legally go forward? And then the other is the technical,
Right.
going to meet the technical
And I
requirements.
think the answer to the first one, can she move forward? Yes, with that change of use application.
Yeah.
And then to answer your second one, that would be upon the applicant to provide that
Right,
proof
evidence, yeah.
to make sure there's adequate water, septic, all the standard stuff that we look at in these.
We're not asked to answer that at the present time. We just asked a
So-
general question about
Correct.
use.
So we should treat this as sort of as a vacant building, just a structure. And then it would be up to you to permit whatever.
Yeah, if you
interior-
want to see anything, like I said,
Right.
she's.
I don't know what the status of her not being the owner of the property, whether she's a.
Well, she wants to be.
No, I know, but can she bring her application prior to?
Yeah, for right title and interest,
Right.
usually a purchase and
Right.
sale agreement.
Purchase and sale, all right.
Suffice there.
Right,
so.
I mean, just basic questions,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yep.
so she can bring the motion. And we could say that after review, we find that the change of use to a dwelling unit would be appropriate.
Yep.
We feel
So-
that, right?
So again, I would say, property title, of course, and then the distance from the leach field to the proposed well, that has to be indicated on the plot plan. Distance from the leach field to the neighbor's wells, I mean, just saying that, they're more than 100 feet apart, I'd like to kind of see that, indicated on a plan. And then accurate plot plan showing survey pins, parking, well location, septic tank and leach field location, sideline and rear and front setbacks. And also a floor plan existing, listing, or not existing, but listing the bedrooms, bathroom, hallway, stairs, kitchen, and any additional rooms. Also show points of egress. Yep.
So her,
Other than that, I mean, if she can meet all that criteria, I think, you know, I think I'm fine with it.
okay, now, one of her questions was, does she have to have a survey? Correct?
I
Because
think
the-
she's not, like she said, her,
It's an
this is
expense
me
for her.
talking, you guys are the board.
Yeah.
But she has a survey, a former surveyor doing her septic, and they are capable of putting the distance to the wells, and there's not any.
Okay, so she
expansion.
doesn't need another
In my
survey.
opinion, I don't think she does, but the setbacks from the dwelling to the sidelines is something that's obviously needed.
Yeah, they could probably work within whatever drawing format that they have,
Yep.
just to measure out what those
All right, I
setbacks
just
are
wanted
for
to
both
clarify
the
that,
lot
that's
lines
all.
to the building and also the
Yeah.
wells.
Okay.
When this constitutes a general survey of the neighborhood, basically you can't get away from the fact that it's all set out in 1,500-foot lots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Now, that doesn't change, and how much more evidence do we need of it?
Okay.
But I would find that at least as to the, well, if 271 owns 272, then he has to agree to have some sort of marking, or whatever. But he agrees that this is a lot and he's not being infringed on, so.
well, the boundary lines are already indicated, right?
Well, we have a steel axle and we have a iron pipe, and then on the northern side, it's not showing
Yeah.
either, but
Yeah.
it's the person who's selling the property, and less likely to complain when he writes a deed for it that spells it out in footage.
If the person she had looking at it is a licensed survey, I'd like to see something from him in writing indicating that, in his opinion, you know, this is,
Just referencing
Correct.
the existing markers and proper distances. I think it's too much. What would a full expensive survey provide us that this isn't basically, would provide us any additional information
you wouldn't,
that we need for the thing?
Right, and I think that's what we're saying, like, if the individual who prepared that document already has those measurements and information, that it's not shown on the plan, but within that
It
actual
was done by
drawing.
a professional land surveyor, I mean.
Right, but in that drawing file, they're capable of measuring those
Doing that.
offsets and
Right.
those points and those.
somebody there has had a survey done for sure.
Yeah, obviously they had
Yeah.
to get those
Yeah.
points from somewhere, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, yeah, so,
Well, just any other survey information they may have,
right.
but not a full survey.
Dave, go ahead.
So I'm good with her continuing that. Now, should we make a motion on this, or do we have to, since she doesn't own the property?
I think
mean,
it's
where do
just,
we go with this from here?
You just need, she needs a clear list that you guys already talked about.
Okay,
And then, you know, when she gets it back to us, she goes back to you guys.
okay. So I guess I would make a motion that she bring to the board the property title, or proof that she has purchased the property at least. And I do think, do we need to have the title? Do we actually have to have the title itself, or?
For
No,
like
we
right
said
title and
purchase
interest
and sale.
piece of it.
Yeah,
Usually, I mean, if we know the book and page number kind of thing, and there's the purchase and sale agreement in place, usually that's enough to suffice.
because I don't know how long it takes to run that through the process, you know, for her to get that type of information, but we'd need some sort of proof that she has actually purchased the property anyway.
Right, that would be the purchase and sale.
Yeah, and then I again, so I'll make that part of the proposal, that she come up with some sort of proof that she has actually purchased the property, preferably a title. And the distance from the leach field to the proposed well, the distance from the leach field to the neighbor's wells within 100 feet, an accurate plot plan showing survey pins, parking, well location, septic tank and leach field location, sideline, rear, and front setback locations, and also floor plan listing bedrooms, bathroom, hallway, stairs, kitchen, and any additional rooms, also shown points of egress. And that would be my motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have only one question, seems a little off. What's the foundation of this building? A cement slab?
that's a
I
good
believe it is
point.
Slab with frost walls.
Okay, just
It's
answer.
flat, okay.
What did you say?
Slab with frost walls.
Slab the
Thank
frontals,
you.
okay, good.
No, go ahead and, that's,
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
I forgot that one. That's a good problem.
You're getting an education.
So, okay, so we have a motion, do we have a second?
We had a second, I'm second.
So, go to vote.
Let's take a vote.
Yeah.
All in favor?
and if you
So
have any
basically,
other,
that means that we think it would be just fine
Yeah.
if all these things are met. There could be a surprise of some sort we don't know about, but
No surprises.
there's no, yeah. I don't think we can make an absolute guarantee.
Christina, can you please send me the list that they just requested, just so that I can make sure?
Yeah, Garrett or I will send you an email tomorrow.
we should also ask,
And then I will reach out to the septic.
well, no,
design
that, maybe that waits,
and
I was saying, no
together.
vote on sidewalk and public hearing until she
Yeah,
provides the
until she really
Just a
knows.
pre-application.
Until it's a real project.
Well, no, sometimes we do that, though, pre-application meeting. Then we decide we want to do that.
Yeah, but she doesn't own the property.
She doesn't even own it.
You don't want to do it before she purchases the property.
Yeah, we'll get out there and get shot at.
Huh?
We can go out there and get shot at.
Okay, I think we're all set. Thank you.
This day and age, you can't be too careful, you know?
Goodness gracious. All right.
Why were the Andersons here?
They thought you were talking about roads, so they wanted to listen. That's why they were here.
Oh,
The other ones, a lot of roads.
yeah.
Now, as you go up to the, what was it, Fern something or other, up in Peabody Pond, if you look at those driveways they put in there, they'd be good enough as for any road we ever had, so if anything, they went up and overbuilt that, more than they needed.
They
You've
overbuilt
seen
it?
the road, I mean, the driveways up
Well, I
there.
Where is it?
Nothing we're
The
doing.
one on South Peabody Pond, they're putting in those units there.
Yeah.
Those
Good
roads are
job.
more than enough. Those driveways are more than enough. Anything, they're overbuilding.
Okay.
Other business? Really, we're all set with the meeting schedule. We did that earlier. So I think we're ready to adjourn.
Oh, no, it's so much fun. Why don't we
We're
just hang out
gonna
for another
have-
couple hours?
A meeting on the 15th, which is a Monday. We should have a
Correct.
vote if we want to have a 5 o'clock workshop.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we have a 5 o'clock workshop before our next meeting on the 15th.
second it.
Okay,
All in favor?
meet and talk it over,
Okay,
those two particular issues.
thank you.
But I think what we, like I said, work on what you mentioned, the bullet point of about a page, focuses on what they want, and then the second page, basic questions. You know, with the marijuana, it'd be as simple as some bullet points that explains the 3-tiered sort of approach to the thing, the
Yeah.
current status, and then basically ask them which direction they'd like to head in.
Okay.
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favor?
And
Let's
Brett,
get out of here.
You'll like email me when you